It's a whole nother.
We'll
We're not
talk
gonna be
after it.
we're not gonna be on too long tonight. We'll have our limit. We'll go over the predictions for this upcoming week for the rec playoffs, and then talk about regular season comp, and then congratulations to Phantoms
Yeah,
for winning the
congratulations.
NFT. And then yeah, we're gonna kind of go from there, and then get right into it, get right into this week, and then get to the point. We're gonna let some people come on, and then go from there.
Yes, sir. Been a couple weeks.
Ha- yes, it has been. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Can you send me all the scores? Or did you send me all the scores?
No, because we're only going to talk about this upcoming week.
Oh, okay. We're not talking about what just happened. That matters about this upcoming week. Some
Mm,
good games,
yeah.
especially that Glory Boys and Rumple Pigs. Ricky,
Yo,
that Rumple Pig game. What do you
hey,
think? What happened, man?
hey, man, let me tell you something. LJ, bro, that dude's a beast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
You
shit
a
was
dog,
crazy.
man. You a dog.
I, it almost fucked up though because they got too cocky at the end, and they almost came back.
Yeah, I talked to JD, I talked to PJ, and I talked to O'Shea about it, and they told me everything that happened at the end. Kind of the lazy defense, the comeback almost attempt, the pick six on the extra point, which kind of helped them win that game a little bit. I mean, they really didn't need it. They kind of messed around, but definitely a good win going into playoffs. They really showed up and showed out, and pretty much was like they're the ones to beat right now. I would say, even though the standings, looking at the standings going into playoffs, you know, it's a little different, even though those teams are tied for first place.
Yeah, if that defense shows up, for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough defense. Tough defense.
No, definitely. It was definitely interesting games to watch overall. But I'm going to kick it off with our intro video, and then we're going to get right into it.
Feel it coming in the air.
Oh, what happened? It cut out early?
Feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere.
Welcome, everyone, to this week of the Comish Podcast 1113. Um, it's been a long couple of weeks, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of happens this coming into playoffs for Rec, and then some upsets this past weekend. And we're going to kind of see the next couple of steps moving forward. But congratulations to um, Phantoms on winning NFE, beating BG's 23 to 20 to win that one. That was another great game. As you've been seeing Ricky's highlight videos and reels and stuff like that, make sure to follow his page. Um, but no, another tight week of games um, for the Rack to finish off the year. But to talk about, the game we were just talking about was that Glory Boys Rumple Pigs game, that 12-7 win for Glory Boys. Um, they had that was a big game for them. I mean, that kind of solidified their. I mean, they did end up with the third seed due to the point differential, but taking down the undefeated team, which is the first place team in that game, was a big thing. And then we were talking there in the beginning. You talked with a few of the guys as well as how they let up on that poor defense and stuff. So it's definitely interesting to see there. And then as well as we're talking about, Carnage taking out Fallen Angels 28-6. And then the other scores, I know that Photo Bombers got killed twice in 2 games, so that was a lot to little. And then the Wild Boys game was close as well. I'm sorry, I lost that one. But if we're talking about this upcoming week, though, um, we got a lot of great games. I mean, playoffs. Let's talk about. Do we? Let's want to start with the rec playoffs, and then get into it with the other stuff, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. I say we start with there. And then where are we at with we have rec playoffs this week, right? And then when do we have comp playoffs? Update Gremlins won 26 nothing. They're down to 18.
Stats meta.
Okay. All right, there.
All right. Well, let's talk about the first 8 a.m. games. You got Bombers versus A Town at Olympic Park Field 2. That's going to be a great game. I mean, that's Bombers' only win was against A Town. A Town has developed a lot, so we got to show up and play. Not throw so many interceptions and other stuff. So we know what we got to do. And then the winner of that plays Rumplepigs at 1 on Field 2 as well. So start at the bat. It's gonna be a rough. It's gonna be a hard morning for the 12th and 11th seed teams. Got to go against each other, and then go against the number 1 seed Rumple Pigs. Uh, I mean, I'm gonna. I don't know. Depends on what Bombers team shows up, what the A Town team shows up, and then Rumple is just Rumple. So
Yeah, you got two teams in Bombers and Spartans who are kind of would love to get a win here and just to see what they can do against Rumple Pigs, right? Because I mean, any given Sunday, but they have to get past that first game. So Spartans are a team that the start of this year was a team that was kind of looked at to make a little bit of an improvement. They kind of stumbled a little bit, but they got some talent over there. Same thing with Bombers. They talked like they were going to be a good team. They struggled. They've had their ups and downs. They've had their spark plays, and then they struggle. But they've been trying to put it together and get guys to show up. So maybe this Sunday is kind of the time they put it all together against the Spartans team and get their first playoff win.
no, definitely. Well, we'll see what definitely happens there. Um, but then we talk about the other 8 a.m. game, which is going to be a tight one. It's going to be the Tigers versus Wild Boys at 8 a.m. The winner of that has to play Glory Boys at 9. So definitely two hard fought games right there. I think Wild Boys and Tigers are equally matched. I think that's a toss up one. I don't know who might come out on top
Yeah,
there. And
that's
then play Glory
That's
Boys.
definitely a good matchup right there. That's not something to kind of slide against the Tigers, another newer team, but have put some good games together and some bad games as well. But then you have the Wild Boys over there who, they want to make some noise. They want this win, I'm pretty sure, just to get to Glory Boys because they would love to play that game again to see what they could do against Glory Boys. I know that was kind of a back and forth shit talking game. So I'm thinking Wild Boys is going to get past that first game and then run into Glory Boys, and they're going to have some trouble because I think one's showing up.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, and then and then we got Fallen Angels versus Intoxicated. Um, that's another great matchup right there. That was early on in the season. Intoxicated actually won that one in OT against Fallen Angels. So that's going to be a great matchup right there. I know Fallen Angels are down some guys. So definitely going to see who comes out. I know Intoxicated was running on all cylinders this past Sunday, but they got to face Carnage for the winner of that game. So that's a hard battle right there too. So you got it. Fallen Agent and Intoxicated coming out against each other, and then they got to see Carnage. So Carnage, I feel like they're going to be ready. They've been rolling that to another 9-1 team, running that second place seed right there. Because I mean, the first, second, and third place were all nine
Yeah,
and
I was
one,
going to
and
say
that
the
just shows
second round doesn't
about
look too, appeasing to a lot of teams. That's three tough teams, no matter where you lay, where you start off. That second round is going to be a tough game.
no, definitely. Um, and then you got and then you got uh, Gremlins versus Caught Looking, which is going to be a very great game too.
Yeah,
And then the winner of that has to play the Ducks. So I mean, these are hard matchups early on, where like first round, where it's anyone's
Yeah,
ball
like I
game.
said, Ducks came in the playoffs rolling. Caught looking came in the playoffs rolling too. They've been putting some scores on the board the last few weeks and getting some wins. So yeah, man, it's gonna be. And then Gremlins, same thing. They just like he said, 26-0 last game. So those games, like I said, even though that second round is a pretty bad matchup for anybody. All four games. I think that game, the winner of Caught Looking and Gremlins, and then the Ducks, it's going to be a good game. And like I said, I think I know my top four teams coming out of the second round. But we'll go over those teams.
No, I gotcha. But I mean that first round, I mean that's the first and second round of playoffs right there going into championship Sunday with the semifinals and then ship. So basically you got Rumple and Ducks on one side with Bombers, A Town, Gremlins, and Caught Looking. While on the other side you got Carnage, Fallen Angels, Intoxicated, Glory Boys, Tigers, Wild
Mm.
Boys. So we very may well see either Carnage or Glory Boys versus Rumple Pigs, or even Ducks can make it out of there and see either Carnage, Glory Boys, or any one of those others. So it's anyone's Sunday so far in the rack, and I'm excited to see next week who are those final four teams that are going to be in that semifinals. Because I can't tell you who's going to make it all the way through because I think it's really in the
Yeah.
air.
Well, like I said, I don't know if there's any added ammunition that any of these teams need. I believe there's going to be good games. I do believe that the top four teams will be the top four teams. I will be a little surprised if I do not see the top four teams as the last four teams. Um, I do see some maybe upsets there. But yeah, we'll see, man. Come Sunday, we'll definitely see what happens. But my top four, I think, are the top four. I think Ducks versus Rumple, and I got Carnage versus Glory Boys, I believe, going for the championship. So,
It's going to be interesting to see. Ricky, is that your
Yeah,
prediction,
pretty
or are you going
much.
to
That'd be
switch it up at
interesting to
all?
see Carnage and Rumple Boys. That'd be a rematch.
I think we might see a underdog pop their way in. I don't know who it's going to be, but I feel like we're not going to see one of those top four
man,
teams in
I'm
the
telling you, I
playoffs.
think a team that and
What if we see none of them?
I think if
What
caught
if we see
looking the
some
way
Momo
that they've
Fest?
been playing, caught looking could sneak in there to the final four.
I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stick
You
to
never
it.
know.
Gremlins. If they make that's gonna be my
Because that
sleeper.
Gremlins caught looking game, I'm looking at that. Whoever wins that game, okay, I'll say it. Whoever wins that game could move in.
That's the sleeper right there.
That's my sleeper, yes.
Because they got to play Carnage.
No, I think that game plays Ducks. The winner of
Oh, is it? Did I
Gremlins
mix it up?
and caught looking plays Ducks.
Yes, because Intoxicated Fallen Angel play Carnage.
Yeah. And
But
unfortunately, I
that's
think
a hard
that's a lot
bracket.
of firepower. I mean,
Yeah,
like I said, I think Glory Boys knows that they can't mess around, right? Um,
exactly.
I'm going Glory Gang all the way. That's my team to win the whole thing. That's my pick. But they can't mess around. They can't take anybody lightly, even if they're up 14-0. 2 minutes left, you can get someone to come back. So yeah, all the way to that whistle blows. Glory, don't fuck around.
Yep. And then you got 8 a.m. I mean, I'm sorry, you got at 10 a.m. on field two for comp. You got Gridiron Gods versus Dinos. Um, Gridiron Guys do have a doubleheader. There are other games at 12 o'clock on field 9. Gridiron Guys versus SOB. So Gridiron Guys actually have a pretty hard end of the season, finishing up two challenging games right there. And both of those teams are itching to get back some playing time. So it's definitely going to be interesting there. And then at the on the other field, at field 9, you got to kick off the morning. YA versus Dirty Birds. YA is playing the guest game against Dirty Birds. And then at 9 a.m., you got Senators versus Dirty Birds, so Dirty Birds with that doubleheader. And then you got 10 a.m. Senators versus Mountain Militia. And then Mountain Militia with doubleheader with that 11 a.m. against Warriors. Uh, I kind of unboxed a lot there. That's all field 9. So, I mean, a lot of these teams have those final games that they got to play this week in the comp. Warriors' final game is actually against Black Shirts. at 1 o'clock on Field Two for their season. That's their crossover game for the guests. But I don't know. I think it's anyone's given ball game right there on the comp side as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the final turnout for all this and who ends up coming out in the seedings. And then, of course, you got 11 a.m. Rumple versus Alphas, and then 12 o'clock Rumples versus Black Shirts, and then a 1 o'clock Warriors versus Black Shirts as well. So it's kind of unloaded. I mean, we got any predictions there, Jeremy?
For which one? For the comp games? Yeah, we can go over
Yeah,
them real quick. You went through them kind of fast, so go ahead and go through them, and we'll go over my predictions. So who has buys this week? I mean, is there comp teams that I did not hear? I'm pretty sure.
Neighborhood Heroes because they're done. They've completed all their games, and then I forgot who else. Is there anyone else? I don't think so. Because that's what we going as the one Senators, Warriors, my militia.
I
But
would like to see what the standings are for comp as well to kind of see where everyone shakes out. Um, I know SOB and Dinos were kind of the top dogs. The last that I was looking at for comp, so um, I kind of want to see where these teams line up for playoffs and see who they go against and see what kind of matchups we get in comp. I think that's going to be kind of something that playoffs might have some upsets more than I think that the rec
or
will. To be honest with you,
yeah, I mean they're all pretty tight niche. I mean SOBs right now because remember the comp is based off of their 8 games for their playoffs because they have the 2 guest games, but their seedings based off of that 8. Right now SOB 6-1, Dinos 5-2. Both of those games are playing Gridiron Gods. So this, if the Gods upset SOB, you can potentially see that switch
yeah.
there.
Unfortunately, I think
Dinos,
that's not going to happen. Grind guys have a tight matchup, 2 matchups this week against 2 top teams. And I think they kind of want to stay in that position. I know Dinos are probably looking for SOB to lose because didn't Dinos beat SOB? I believe they did. If not, then I apologize. But if that's the case, SOB loses, wouldn't that move Dinos into the number 1 spot?
yeah, Dinos did beat SOB
Okay.
12-7.
So then technically, I know Dinos are looking for an SOB upset, um, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're
Correct.
both going to come out. They're both going to get their wins, move on, looking towards playoffs to see who they play. Both those teams, I know Dinos especially. You can tell they're ready. They're waiting for who they're going to play, um, and see where they line up in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then uh you got Dirty Birds at 5-3, Warriors at 3-3 with the final 2. And then Senators at 3-4. They're playing their final game for that this weekend, and then Neighborhood is 5-3 as well. So it's going to be interesting the final matchups right there. I know it's a little quirky on our website the way you have to read it, but the playoff race is the one you want to look at for that standings. But it's going to be based on the head to heads. I feel like and the point differentials coming out the gate at the end
Yeah,
of that, which we're gonna go really into depth into that next week, especially with their playoffs all being in one day. So next week's gonna be a big show, even the recap from Rec, as well as talking about comp just in general and all their stuff. Who needs that camera work though? Ricky, you can just say that on the live, bro. He
I didn't want to interrupt your
just
your
messages.
little your thing.
yeah. He's trying to promote his business while having a podcast. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Well, we
Well,
need to
Jacob,
start getting these
remember,
commercials on.
Elite is going away next season, so there is no one moving up. So it's one division next season. It's just 2 divisions. So Elite's going
Mm.
away, Comp's going away. Don't forget that.
So everybody's going to be
So
elite.
yeah, and your eyes are not. You're going to be elite if you're up. You're elite, If you're down, your house league. So that's basically how to put it. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else because we're fucking here to stay, like how we always been, running shit the way we do. I mean, that's basically what I say. I mean, like I said, a lot of people have asked some questions about next season too, with the teams and all that. I mean, Jeremy and Mark and all of the other guys that are helping out will be out there more. You're not going to see me as much at the field, but it's going to next season. It's going to we have a lot in store and a lot of stuff that we're putting into place. So some new positions, some different positions. Um, you got to get through everything, and hopefully, all the teams will reflect that in playing wise. But this season so far, I think that the competition is there. I think it's been pretty equal across the board, and I think what we're moving into is just going to amplify that competitiveness in these levels.
Yeah, I believe you
And it's
saw
going to
that in
be
the cross games, the crossover games that you've had. A couple of them. There were some good matchups. There were some good games. Still, some of the same outcomes, some different outcomes than we expected. But all in all, um, I think the one thing I got out of a lot of this fall is flag football in Chicago is wanted to be played, and we just need to all come together and literally just make this uh, make it better. Obviously, there was a lot of games that were missed, a lot of teams that didn't play each other to benefit themselves moving forward, and hopefully we can resurrect that and get it right for next season, and all these teams can play under one roof and be the most competitive that it possibly can around here. I think that's what we need to get back to, and kind of show out what we put out every Sunday. It's gotten a lot of talk this last fall, and the hype hasn't been in it as last couple years. The Some of the teams, some of the characters that we've missed. I could be honest and say that I think some of what we've all came to love about Chicago flag football has been missed in this last fall, and hopefully, like I said, moving forward, we can get it all back under one roof and have the same energy, the same atmosphere that we have been, and just get better from here on out. And this is on everybody. This isn't just on one or two or three teams. This is on every single team. Let's be more competitive. Let's stop switching teams a lot. Let's work. Whatever team you got, I would say figure it out, man. Work with your team, get better, work with the guys you have, and let's be great, bro.
that's the best way to put it, Jeremy. Football is football. A lot of things going to happen. We got the legacy tournament coming up. Some teams are getting in there. We're going to see a little bit of action. Everyone's finishing off this fall season. Good luck to teams in other leagues that are finishing up their season. TFL, I think Bolingbrook's already done. I think A2 already finished up, but that's it. Just have fun, play football, and we're definitely going to see a lot. There's going to be a lot more releasing stuff as the season comes to conclude about the upcoming year and the changes that are going to be made. And if you haven't yet, there's only a few spots left for that tournament. We're at 6 teams right now. We got 3 spots left. We're going to be closing it up though, probably tomorrow.
And the legacy. Let's be clear about the legacy tournament. Who can actually,
It's
we
a
have
D3 tournament.
the D3 tournament. We
Hmm.
got 3 spots open, so any D3 teams that want to get in, I mean, this is your time.
Yeah, we the invitational first. We invited a bunch of people from the rec and comp, gave them the first options to get in if they wanted to, and then we opened it up to the remainder of D3. It is it's in the at the dome at the Roar Dome. So we're excited to
New
go back
turf on
there.
there. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
you been there already?
Yeah, we practiced last Sunday, and it was awesome, man. I can't say anything better, but that dome is not just for soccer. It's but now the turf it's like a baseball turf field. They got it lined out. It's pretty nice though, brand new. So definitely,
But it's going to be interesting to see the last
LJ,
celebration.
I'll be hitting you up.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. because we got a team over there too. So, but if it, and then kind of that's kind of gonna be it for our show. I mean, we just wanted to talk about some of the teams and the games coming up this week. Um, it's gonna be a fun week, and I wish everyone luck. And I mean, have happy, fun playoffs. And seems like it's been a little bit quiet.
You know what? I one thing we didn't get into is this. I know we congratulated Phantoms, and kind of was a pass by for that. But let's talk about those games a little bit here before, so we don't just brush past them, because those are teams that kind of we should talk about. They had the first game. You had VGs versus Reapers, correct?
Correct.
And that was, would you say, a competitive game for a little bit, and then kind of
Oh yeah.
VGs.
I mean, it was a back and forth game. I wouldn't say that it was um, like straight to it. I mean, you think about the final score was 22-16.
Right.
So Reapers made a game out of it. It wasn't like a straight like VGs took over. VGs capitalized on a bunch of plays and had some broken plays. But it was a very close back and forth game. I mean, I'll tell you that right now. And I mean, even the championship game was back and forth. I think
Yeah,
everyone's
that's
very tuned right now, and the teams are ready to compete.
yeah, definitely. It was good to see, like I said, the game, the VG's Phantoms game, that championship game. Um, that's two good teams right there going against each other, and then you have Phantoms, who's just rolling right now going into nationals. I like the way that team's kind of put together right now. They got a lot of nice pieces over there, and the good thing about what they've been doing, they've been getting the work in together, which is going to mean a lot down there at nationals, and it's going to go farther than most. So I know they're putting in the work. VG, same thing. Obviously, you can't say enough about just getting that work and that chemistry together and kind of building on this, moving forward. Going into VGs, they're going into comp this year down at nationals, a little bit different atmosphere, but kind of the same that they kind of been playing all year round by playing Phantoms and the New Waves and 4TF. So it's going to be an interesting nationals for Chicago, I can say the least. But I think that, on a positive note, I think it's going to be good, because there's a lot of people that got a lot of rest, which is good. And then there's a lot of people who have been gelling. So I can't wait to kind of see where this goes.
No, I definitely can't either. I mean, I'm excited for the
Yeah,
future,
they're
what
going
everything's kind of
D2.
looking. Yeah, I mean, hey, if Reapers win D3 Nationals, I mean they got. I'm pretty sure they got to see 4TF as well. So
Yeah, sorry, Jay. It's going to be a good matchup, but
there's, I mean, alphas are there. I mean, I think the semifinals are going to end up being Chicago, in my personally. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see who is
well,
where and where is
like
what.
I said, we can say it all we want. I know, but it's hard when you get down there. It's very hard to get all the way to Sunday, the last game. Um, so, like I said, I hope everyone has this same energy going down there. You got to believe in yourself, but damn, just it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a nice little road to get there. Hopefully, like last year, we don't see Chicago teams versus Chicago teams early, which always kind of happens. So, one of those good teams might get knocked to a loser's bracket and have to work their way out, kind of like last year. So, we'll see what happens.
No, definitely. But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. I guess that was gonna be some quick, short, sweet podcast. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, next week we're gonna get right into a lot of stuff. Next couple of weeks are gonna be interesting with the holiday and then with the tournament, and then finishing off the fall season with that, capping it all off. Good luck to all teams competing this weekend for the start of playoffs. Good luck to comp finishing up, and again, congratulations to Phantoms. And we'll talk more, everyone. Have a great night.
And it looks like it's ready.
Wait, what'd you
Everyone's
say?
getting playoff ready, because there's really no talking up here. Like
Nah, dude.
from the rec, from no glory boys down here talking shit. So it's kind of weird, man. I'm not gonna
Say,
lie. It looks like
listen,
everyone's trying to get ready. Nobody wants to give nobody fuel to that fire.
right, it's eerie right now. But all right, man. Have a good night, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.